Everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make a layered version of what I refer to as a simple loop bow, which is this one. And this is in a cute 1-inch ribbon, so I'll put all the measurements in the description below for everyone. But all I have done is I've taken this one and I have added a tux bow over the top, a single tux bow, and I am going to layer this with this really pretty, as you can see, it's a gold foil tulle. Because like I said, I like to do something a little bit different. And as you can see on this one, this is a 2-inch ribbon version, and this is a 4-inch bow. And I'll put the measurements for this one. This is also a 2-inch ribbon version, and this is a 5-inch bow, and I'll put the measurements for that one as well. And as you can see on these two, I've done the tulle on all the layers on the outside. If you want a tulle on the inside though, you could fold it inwards instead of outwards like I've done on this one to get your little pops of colour in the loop bits. And on this one I've just done a single layer with the tux bow with the tulle on top. And the other fun thing about this one is you can use the exact same method to do a lace overlay. Look how pretty that one is. And again, this is in 1.5-inch ribbon, so I'll put all the measurements in the description below so you can play around and do whatever you want. But today we're going to do a tulle version, and I have this stunning, this is 2.5 inches wide, and you can buy this by the metre, and I'll put the supplier below, which is Heartfelt Craft Supplies from the UK. And it's this really pretty tulle, and you can get it in about 7 different colours. I've got pink, black, mint, etc, and all of that kind of one. And on the other side, if you fold it over, you get silver, so you can basically use this both sides, and it's really pretty against your ribbon regardless. So I'll show you, because obviously I've got my pieces ready. So this is what it looks like against the pink on the gold side, but if you turned it over, it looks equally pretty on the silver. So like I said, you can use it both ways, which I always like I said, extra functional for me. So I've got our 2 pieces here, and this piece is for the tux bow, and that is 11 inches wide. And we've got a longer piece here, which is for the main bow, the simple loop bow, and this is 22 inches wide. But like I said, the measurements will be all in the description below. And in this one, I do use a touch of fabric glue. This is my B7000, but you can use any sort of fabric glue that you are able to stitch through that is pretty quick drying. So like I said, you don't have to have the exact glue that I have in my tutorials. Like I said, you work with whatever you've got available. And another trick with this, occasionally when it's drying, it sticks a little bit up when you're going through your needle. If that happens, all you need to do, and be careful of this, to get a touch of glue on your needle, do this and give it a couple of seconds, and then you will be able to move it back through your ribbon, including the glued version, and it'll be much smoother. So like I said, it's a little trick for you if you ever use fabric glue and you want to sew quickly. So we'll move this long bit out of the way for now. And on all of my pieces, as you can see, I have heat sealed, and with the tulle, I'll do a tiny piece. Okay, this is a little offcut that I've got. When you're heat sealing tulle, be exceptionally careful, because it melts much quicker than gross grain ribbon, and if you're not careful, it will set fire much faster than gross grain. So like I said, always layer it, and like I said, be very careful, because like I said, it's much, you can see, it's much more prone to melting. So I've done that off camera, but obviously I've done exactly the same as I normally do. Stay in the blue bit, clear bit of the flame. Do that together and give them a little pinch to sort of seal them together. And I've done that on both ends on all the pieces. And I have also folded them in half, and I have pinned the centres. Now normally I would heat crease them, but again, if we did the heat creasing with the tulle on top or lace on top, again, lace is another one that burns much quicker than gross grain, and you could potentially burn or like disrupt or melt that top layer. So don't do it. Like I said, just put your needle instead and use that as your guide. So like I said, that's your tip when you're using these sort of much lighter, more flammable items. So like I said, I've got a little tux bow, and like I said, we all know how to make one of those but I will show you. So like I said, we want to bring this in and do our little overlap, 1/2 inch over our centre, same the other side, 1/2 centimetre over our centre join, repin through all of our layers, and we're going to do 6 stitches to get 3 creases, and I'm just going to make sure that that's centred by folding those in half. I'm just going to hold that with my fingers, give it a little bit of a crease that I can see, with us not having the more visible one as we normally would. Okay, and if you're still struggling to see where your crease is, if you fold it in half like so, you can use where your edges and start your first stitch from above like so, and that will make sure you're more centralised. It's a little trick if you can't visibly see that crease. There you go. So 6 nice even stitches in 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, in. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in 1, 2, out, and on the back we've got 1, 2, 3. Okay. Pull that through. Get your 3 creases and wrap round your centre. Now if you wanted to with your tool, you could do 2 layers just to give it a little bit more texture, but it's entirely up to you. Like I said, I want to use it on other projects, so that's why I've only done the one, but like I said, you can do as many as you want. You could wrap a couple of layers around and like have it sparkle a little bit more, but that's entirely up to you. Okay, so there's our little tool wrapped tux bow. And the lace is the exact same principle. You would literally heat seal it to your layer and do the exact same method. Okay. So we'll put this one out of the way for a second, and we're going to take our 22 inches of 2-inch ribbon, and as you can see again, I have pinned it dead centre of the middle. Now with this one, this is a figure 8 wrap that you do, and like I said, we've got our glue ready. Just going to undo that so it's ready for me to go. So what you want to do is fold it in and fold it in so you get this shape, which is sort of the beginning of a freehand chair bow. And what you want to do is turn that round like so. I want to touch a glue here, and we're going to bring this over. So like I said, not joined like that. We want to do a little bit over, so I'll show you. Just a tiny touch of this fabric glue here. And like I said, you don't need tons. You could do this with your glue gun as well, but if you have a multi-temperature glue, use your 100 temperature and do it really thin. And again, only the tiniest amount, so you've got enough that you can still sew through. Take this side, fold it over so you're curving round, and do same as you would with your tux bow. You only want to do 1/2 centimetre overlap. So like I said, you don't want masses over, just that 1/2 centimetre. You see that tiny 1/2 centimetre. And what you can do at this point, you can clip it to hold it in place a second, or you can pin it, whatever you personally prefer. Okay, and then this pin and this are your centre pieces. So what I like to do to keep this all centralised is I take these, and if you've got salon clips, you can do this, or you can pin. You don't have one of those. Can't find my second one at the moment. So you can take your pin and go over one side, and then I will also take it this side, pin over your layers like so, just so that's centred. Now what we want to do is, obviously you've got this cross shape on the front, and what we want to do is we want to get the cross triangle shapes here to line up with this centre, which is this bit, and we want this one to line up with this centre, which will be here. So this triangle here and this triangle at the top. And then what we want to also do is those need to go slightly overlapped, only a tiny bit, again about ½ centimetre, and the same this side. You sort of tuck it in to the bit where it naturally wants to go, just ½ centimetre. And again I pin that just to keep it nicely centralised, like so. And this is what your front should look like, with your cross centred, and like I said, this triangle down here, this triangle centred to your middle pin. And the other trick to do is, if you fold these in half so that these corners where you pinned meet up, if you fold that in half, where your pins are here, as you can see, we are central. So that's how you keep them balanced. Okay, and again, this is one we always start from above when we do our stitches. Okay, and we're going to go from this point, so I can move this clip out of the way. We want to do 6 stitches. We want to go in, and the first one should always be over here, this bit. I'm going to do that a little bit deeper. So over, we can do 8 actually. I'm going to move this clip out of the way. I'm just going to take all my guide pins out of the way, including these ones, so they're not accidentally stabbing me. So I will show you the stitch placement, because it's vitally important on this one. It's one of those ones where you need them in the right place to get them to settle how they should. What's happened here? Something gets caught. It is this. There we go. Give me a second, because my thread has caught in there. I'm just going to have to I don't know what happened there, but somehow my thread caught in that centerpiece there, so sorry about that. We'll just clip it in place to hold it again. And we'll redo the stitches in. Yeah, if anything like that ever happens, like I said, that's the other reason why I prefer stitching. You can sort of cut those out without doing any damage to your bow. There we go, I'll rethread my thread. And we'll try that again, shall we? As you can see, I don't edit my videos. If I ever make a mistake, I always leave it in so you can learn something. Because I find sometimes that's more useful to some people than actually seeing it perfectly made every single time. There we go, so let's try again. So we're going to do 8 stitches from above. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go, and that one is still central because I pretty much used the original stitch guide from where the stitches had gone in before. So in, across your triangle, 1 over, out over your triangle and up, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and on the back you should have 1, 2, 1, 2. So 2 on this side, 2 on this side. Okay, and once you're happy with everything, which I now am, you can take all those clips off, and we can cinch this together. And as you can see, you'll have 4 creases, 2 plain and 2 on your tool, and then wrap round a couple of times. Like I said, make sure you stay centered, like so. Stitch off however you personally prefer. There we go, and then we can give this one a little fluff. And as you can see, that is quite pretty all by itself. So if you wanted to at this point, you could add your centre and have a cute bow like this, but we're going to add our tulle tucks. So we're going to go through the back of this in the centre, just line that up a bit more, through the centre, and we're going to go through the centre of this one because we know I don't like glue, but you can if you personally prefer, it's entirely up to you. Through the centre of this one, and pull that all the way up. Move your tucks bow to where you want it to sit, and then wrap your thread round a couple of times, nice and tight. Take out the bulk of those layers together, like so, and stitch off in the back however you personally prefer. There we go, get rid of that. We're also going to cut off that cord loop there. And there we go, that is our cute layered simple loop bow. And we can take our alligator clip, and like I said, I've got a matching coloured 9mm. Touch your glue to the back of our alligator clip. Repop my glue gun up that's just fallen over there. Pop that on the back like that and hold that on for a second so it sits. Don't forget to heat seal our 9mm. Touch of glue just here. Open up our clip. Put that central and hold it for a second, and then wrap round twice as we like to. So once, open back up. Make sure we're staying directly on top of that original ribbon and we can't see anything underneath. Get rid of that. Heat seal our edge. Touch more glue just there. There we go. And and glue that down like so. And there we go, we've got a super pretty, excuse me a second, I've just centred that a bit more. So we've got a super pretty, tall, layered, simple loop bow. And like I said, how pretty is that? Like I said, that's a pink one. This is like more of a peach tone tool. Like I said, I've got the black and the gold lace versions, and the simple loop, and this is just 2 layers of ribbon with the pattern ribbon on the inside as we're turning. So thank you for watching. If you need any more help or advice about this particular tutorial, the links to the Facebook page and group are below. Don't feel, you can ask me any questions you want about anything. I don't mind answering them and I'm always available. And like I said, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching, bye.